There are people who believe they have a connection beyond the normal with others, as if for many lifetimes they have been sharing this soul journey together. They feel they know the depths of what hides within the being of that other person, even if they have known each other for a short time, and indeed, that connection is real. The famous and highly respected hypnotherapist and regression specialist, Dolores took on the task of conducting a profound investigation into this connection, known as the soulmate. This name given to that connection is quite commonly heard, but few truly understand the depth of the matter. Therefore, building on Dolores Cannon's research, today we will delve into what it really means to meet our soulmate and explore the signs that indicate we have encountered ours to continue this marvelous journey together. First and foremost, for those who may not be aware of what this soulmate implies, it is nothing more than your own soul, which, after its creation, was split into two parts, one corresponding to you and the other in another physical body. This is how Dolores Cannon has described it: as a soul that was created whole and then divided into two to be sent to this earthly plane. This implies that our soulmate serves as our mirror, containing within itself the same challenges and processes as we ourselves do. This soulmate also faces the same fears and traumas, and their encounter with us can involve a process in which we find ourselves confronted with these issues. But behind all of this lies a wonderful experience that also brings great benefits to our being. Our soulmate helps us overcome many challenges and urges us to work on our inner selves, resulting in an expansion of our being. From this, we can access a new dimension and unlock the creative and divine abilities stored within us. Many are aware of the existence of this connection and seek to work on themselves to enhance the force that draws the encounter between these two parts that were originally one soul. That encounter is a precious moment where you recognize yourself in the other person, an immediate spark that is often not easy to pinpoint. We must understand that we all possess different levels of consciousness, and while many are very perceptive, others may find it a bit more challenging to grasp the depth of what has been experienced. That's why Dolores Cannon has outlined 12 signs that indicate we have had that long-awaited meeting with our soulmate. We'll delve into this information now so that you too become aware of the precious moment of reunion with your soulmate. Number 1. You will experience an immediate recognition, coupled with a profound connection. One of the initial signs that reveals this marvelous encounter between two halves of the same soul is undoubtedly the deep and overwhelming feeling experienced by each from their physical bodies. We must remember that our souls are capable of storing wonderful memories from our past life adventures, along with a superior ability to recognize the essence of beings who have accompanied us throughout our journey or have simply crossed paths with us along the way. Beyond consciousness, our being possesses memories and abilities that far exceed the limits of the earthly realm. This is still a fact not accepted by many, but it doesn't mean that a person ceases to have these abilities or the memory that resides in the subconscious as an archive from which nothing escapes. Drawing on these abilities and memories, the soul can cause the physical body to react to the encounter with its soulmate. This is more than a simple meeting between two individuals. It is rather a meeting of souls, which initially formed a single entity and now carry their journey separately, mirroring each other. Some describe the intense feeling produced in this moment as a sensation of already knowing the person. Others attribute it to a sense of familiarity with the other person, as if at some point in this life they had shared, even if it's the first time they are meeting. And these feelings are truly tangible. If you think about it, at some point, you might have felt as if you had already maintained some type of relationship with someone, or as if in the past you had connected and harmonized in ideas or preferences. That's nothing more than your soul recognizing another, with which it has crossed paths in one of its incarnations, subtly bringing forth the feelings generated within you during that past life. Whether it's positive or a feeling of rejection, it all depends on the experience you had with that individual. In the very particular case of your soulmate, everything that occurs is positive. It's a unique sensation of knowing the person and feeling as if a strong bond already exists between both, one that transcends any earthly aspect. Remember, that bond does exist, and even if you are not consciously aware of it, your subconscious detects and honors it, causing an immediate sense of connection between your being and this other soul. Number 2. Healing sensation and intense emotion. As previously explained, encountering your soulmate can bring you face to face with many unresolved internal issues. This soul serves as your mirror when it comes to traumas, fears, joys, and things you need to address. Their presence helps you release many aspects that need to be left behind and elevate yourself to a higher level of consciousness. Your soulmate will set you on a path of personal improvement, where you must make room in your life for that internal work that is so necessary for everyone and is also beneficial for the soul that reflects yours. Even though they have led separate lives, the traumas they must deal with are the same. It's normal that upon seeing them, your greatest fears and sorrows are reflected, along with your joys and strengths. Encountering this soul is undoubtedly like seeing yourself in a mirror where there are no pretensions or falsehoods. You are completely exposed to the issues that occupy your being, something that can be a real challenge for many, but behind it lie the greatest rewards. However, even though this person may understand you perfectly without you uttering a single word, you must understand that they won't see you with criticism or judge your choices throughout your journey. This soulmate is an infinite source of compassion and love, providing these in the same measure that you would. And if you're curious about why it's in this way, let me explain. Besides being your other half and serving as a faithful reflection of your being, the presence of this soul helps you heal, and in doing so, they also heal through your progress and the expansion of their being. A fundamental part of this soul journey is the process in which we heal and let go of ideas, beliefs, traumas, and fears that keep us attached to this dimension. Only from there can soulmates elevate themselves hand in hand to a higher level of consciousness and reunify. We must understand that this encounter will take us through a tumultuous journey where joy, happiness, sadness, fear, and other emotions will be present. But behind all this will be the greater reward that comes from perfecting your being and leaping to the next level of consciousness, and therefore to the next dimension. Number 3. Reflection and self-discovery. As we just discussed, this soulmate serves an important function in your life, which is to reflect your being as it is, without pretensions and without those masks you've wanted to put on to meet social standards. This is something that generates fear in certain individuals because the idea of being completely vulnerable and exposed causes them a lot of anxiety and doubt. They don't know if they will be accepted, and they will inevitably have to work on what they have been neglecting. However, this is beneficial for us, and after a challenging moment, we can find much beauty and incredible potential that resided hidden within us. We can access it with just a bit of self-recognition. When we can see the beauty in ourselves is when we truly discover what we are capable of, and that's something Dolores Cannon knew. That's why she emphasized the need for us to work on our inner selves. And although it's a challenging task that many choose to postpone, our soulmate gives us a little nudge to do it, always showing us what lies within us and what is a challenge to overcome. All through that faithful reflection, it projects of our person. Every minor trauma and everything that keeps us from moving forward will be presented before us, even if we weren't consciously aware of it, because this mirror representing our soulmate reveals even the deepest aspects we keep within. So when you find yourself capable of projecting the most profound aspects of your being without uttering a single word, that's when you know you've encountered your soulmate and that it helps you recognize and heal from your reflection. From there, we say that your process will be one of self-discovery, because you'll find yourself noticing details and aspects in you that may have been nurtured unconsciously, opening the door for you to heal and continue your process of internal growth. Number 4, a shared spiritual mission. Something curious that happens with soulmates is that they discover that the mission they have come to this plane with is shared or complementary to the other's mission. According to Dolores Cannon's perspective, all souls must, before coming to this earthly plane, choose the mission they will undertake. This provides them with a direction or purpose for their journey on this earthly plane. But according to the results of her research, something characteristic of soulmates is that they discover, upon meeting, that their journey is oriented toward fulfilling the same objective. They complement and assist each other. When talking about a life mission, it's not simply a preference or any common inclination. It's not about shared interests or a common passion. This mission should be understood as something larger and deeper that guides our life and actions. Often, this mission may not be clear to the person, but if that's the case, encountering their soulmate will lead them to face this knowledge and from there, navigate a much more harmonious and clear path. The set direction for our stay on this plane is important and helps us chart the course of our lives because everything has a purpose in this magical universe. However, we must also understand that souls share a spiritual goal or mission collectively. This doesn't interfere with our individual mission, but rather fits perfectly and precisely with the mission humanity must fulfill. Even in cases where this mission is not entirely identical to that of our soulmate, it turns out that one mission complements the other, both directed towards the same end. From this, we can see the strong connection that exists between these two parts of the same soul. Whether it's a spiritual, artistic, scientific, or humanitarian mission, sharing this goal with another person is a strong sign that you are right in front of your soulmate. Number 5. Presence of challenges for growth. As mentioned earlier, the encounter between you and your soulmate will push you incredibly towards personal growth and that inner transformation from which you elevate to the next level of consciousness. Their role is to contribute to the growth of your being through internal transformation. But at this point, and aware of what a transformational process like this entails, you might wonder, how do I identify that this person is my soulmate? How do I know that their presence is the catalyst for this change? According to Dolores Cannon, there is a very clear sign that this soulmate has entered your life because challenges have also begun to arise. Although these challenges may be difficult, they are inevitably geared towards the transformation of your soul. The arrival of these challenges should never be seen as punishment, a streak of bad luck, or torture. Viewing each of these challenges as a unique and unrepeatable opportunity for growth and improvement is essential. The presence of your soulmate will only accelerate the moment when you must look within yourself to begin the process of transformation and expansion. While everyone has a personalized process tailored to their soul and internal state, the encounter with your soulmate indicates that you are ready to take the next step. You will notice how situations arise that force you to heal old wounds, things that push you to let go of ideas and beliefs that are not beneficial to you, and of course to overcome the fears that you have allowed to linger within you for so long. Everything within you will transform for the better, for your benefit, and for the benefit of the joint journey that your soulmate and you are undertaking. But to achieve that, you must overcome certain things, and you will see how each challenge has a purpose within your internal work. Number 6. You will experience a spiritual awakening. Much has been said about the special event called awakening, especially by Dolores Cannon, who described it as a wonderful moment when you open up in consciousness to the universe and begin a journey to the next dimension. This is a moment when you open your eyes to something that is not necessarily tangible. You become aware of your inner self, your capacity, and your divine nature. From there, you start an irreversible journey to a higher level of consciousness. For many, it is inconceivable that a single event could lead you to unlock such a great ability. However, we must understand that until we see and recognize our true potential, we cannot use it. This awakening also makes it possible for you to connect more with your inner voice, which serves as a channel to receive divine information from higher realms than ours. Rather than just representing a space to connect with yourself, this is a space to listen to the information that your soul receives and processes beyond your consciousness. Encountering your soulmate will cause this awakening to precipitate into your life, as it becomes the starting point for that internal transformation. Therefore, you should evaluate this point when determining if the person who has entered your life is your soulmate. Number 7. You will feel a telepathic connection and great empathy. We touched on the bond that connects you with your soulmate at some point, but beyond that, the way this connection manifests leaves many speechless. This strong empathy transcends the physical limits we consider normal and reveals a more spiritual aspect of this reunion. Just as this person can project a faithful and exact image of your being in the internal space, they can also perfectly understand each of your feelings and thoughts, showing total empathy towards them. With this person, there's no need for you to open up and express verbally what troubles or bothers you, as they understand and detect perfectly what is happening, as if they had a small screen to see what exists within you. But it's not only the things that trouble you that happen this way. Every little joy, every feeling of hope, joy or triumph is perceived as their own, once again reminding you that this occurs without the need for even the slightest word to be spoken between the two of you. The bond with your soulmate is so strong that it can even know what you're thinking, even if it's a recent idea, because, as we know, it goes through the same processes and faces the same challenges as you. Numero 8. Emergence of synchronicities. From a spiritual and metaphysical perspective, synchronicities are small winks from the universe through which it seeks to guide souls on their journey. They tend to appear when a person is going through significant transformations that alter their being, expand it, and aim to help them fulfill their life mission. Some may view these synchronicities as mere coincidences and downplay their significance. However, they are a marvelous manifestation of the higher forces guiding the journey of your soul, and, in this particular case, your soulmate's journey as well. These events are directed at helping you take the right path, ensuring that everything you experience is another step in the midst of your spiritual growth, and, at the same time, a way to reunify with your soulmate. That's why many of these events will unfold in your life rapidly after the encounter with your soulmate. In a way, much greater forces have designed a plan for the growth of both, and their encounter is evidence that both are ready to embrace it. That leap in consciousness, that transformation, and that unification with your soulmate are approaching, and recognizing these signs will help you become aware of it. You just need to pause and objectively evaluate this point, and from there, you'll find the answer you seek. Numero 9. You will feel a strong attraction to that person. Beyond seeing or interpreting it as something physical, we must understand this attraction as an intangible, spiritual, and complete force that pulls you toward that soul. You cannot resist it in their presence or company. Some have dared to describe this force as a sentimental, spiritual, and mental attraction to the person, who shouldn't make the slightest effort to pull you, and, moreover, corresponds to the force between both of you. Both you and the other individual are drawn to each other, which finds its explanation in the research and regressions of Dolores Cannon. She mentioned that some of her patients, in the midst of their regressions, vividly recall and intensely feel connections with individuals present in past lives. Not only do they remember these connections, but as they speak about them, they relive those moments with an intensity equal to the one experienced in that initial encounter. Similar is the case with your soulmate, who, being one with you, shares an extremely strong bond. This connection should not only be viewed from a romantic standpoint, as your soulmate can manifest in various forms, extending far beyond any romantic or superficial aspects. The love between these souls is so great and elevated that it cannot be compared to that of a mere couple or friends. Numero 10. Feeling of completeness. Although it may seem trivial, or some might say it's irrational to continue talking about the connection between two soulmates, the ways in which their bond manifests are truly beautiful. This particular point is also a sign you should assess. Beyond affinity in certain aspects, this person presents themselves as a complete being that possesses everything needed to complement you. It's crucial to understand that this is not about dependency. Instead, it's about mutually enhancing each other. Feeling that someone empowers you and helps you become a better person is incredibly wonderful, an experience not many encounter. These are the kinds of sensations that rarely emerge, making it an important factor in determining whether you've encountered your soulmate. Dolores Cannon explained that even though we are complete beings, finding that other part of our soul makes us truly feel whole and fulfilled, contributing from their soul what you feel is missing from yours. We must not forget that initially, your soul and that of this person were one. Upon being divided into two, you both became parts that fit together perfectly. Therefore, this feeling is entirely logical when discussing soulmates and is undoubtedly an unmistakable sign of your connection. Number 11. You will be driven towards transformation and personal growth. As mentioned earlier, soulmates have the ability to push each other to transform and expand their inner selves, something that is also necessary to continue their wonderful journey together and reunify those souls that were initially created as one. Dolores Cannon, in her discretion on the topic, commented that internal work was a fundamental part of everything related to the soul's journey. And when it comes to soulmates, it's not different, but rather takes on an even more significant role. The influence of your soulmate in your life will bring to light even those things you've wanted to sweep under the rug and ignore. True transformation is profound and does not overlook even the smallest details. However, when a person overcomes these challenges, they find themselves enjoying a state of higher consciousness, becoming more balanced and appreciating the capacity within themselves that they hadn't recognized. Right here, you should evaluate how transformative the presence of that person, whom you see as your soulmate in your life, is. How does it inspire you to improve yourself? Ask yourself, does this person truly encourage me to work on my inner self? From this question, you'll know whether this soul that has entered your life is indeed the other half separated from you, walking on this plane, seeking the moment of reunion, just like you. Number 12. Sharing a vision of the future. It's one thing to think similarly about certain topics, but when it comes to soulmates, it goes beyond that. They share a vision of what lies ahead for them that is identical, making it seem like one is a reflection of the other in their thoughts and feelings. Not only is there an affinity, but as you delve into these souls, you discover how their feelings about many future aspects of life seem to align. You realize how, in an almost exact way, they share a vision of what lies ahead for humanity and for themselves. They often amaze with their mutual interest in collaborating for a common purpose or contributing to the same cause. The way these souls seem to have lived their entire existence in synchrony is incredible, and their lives appear as two parallel lines where these individuals have experienced the same pleasures and traumas. However, these lines seem destined to intersect at a certain point, as if part of a well-devised plan driven by higher universal forces. Everything appears to be part of a larger plan for the growth and well-being of humanity. And each of these souls, including soulmates, seems to carry their share of responsibility. They understand that they are not on a separate journey. On the contrary, they seem to be part of not only an individual and partnership journey, but also a collective one destined for a higher level of consciousness and well-being for humanity. Paying attention to this and other signs makes it possible for us to determine whether we have finally encountered our soulmate. From there, we can fully surrender to let the force of this union transform us, make us recognize our potential, and elevate us to the next dimension. And you? Do you feel you have found your soulmate? Let me know in the comments and support me with a like. I also remind you that you can subscribe to this channel to continue exploring teachings from Dolores Cannon and other enlightened beings. I'll be very happy to have you become part of this blessed community. We'll meet again on this channel very soon. Until then, I send you infinite blessings and wish that the universe guides you kindly to that point where you can once again meet your soulmate. Don't forget the important internal work that your being requires, and see you in the next edition.